Hi, I'm Serena, and this is my co-host, Mike, and you're listening to Diapers and Deployments, Who's Got It Worse? The podcast that talks about all things military, the good, the bad, and the oh shit.
On today's episode, we speak to Wendy Layton, Chapter Director for the Blue Star Families in Jacksonville.
This podcast is supported by Skill Mill Corporation, helping veterans transition to the civilian workspace.
Hey, Serena, I'm going to jump right in. What's going on with the house? I think that's what I want to know.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny that you ask because today has been a whirlwind. I took my kids to the zoo today, but on top of that, I was getting phone calls all day long because we have been cleared to close. Our closing date is the 28th, and the VA just wanted one little thing repaired in the kitchen. And so they did that. Contractor signed off on it. And so now we just got to set up the appointment to close. So everything is worked out. Great.
Until the 28th, you know you're going to be a nervous wreck, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's like we had all of our ducks in the road, like homeowners insurance. And, we had that thing fixed with the VA. So we have that. A contractor had to sign some paperwork. Now it's just like, that's it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I get it why it takes so long, but
You know why it takes so long, Serena? Because everybody's got their hands out when it comes to taking your real estate and transferring it to someone else.
right. Yeah. Like making sure the title was okay.
Yep.
A lot of things I didn't know. Obviously, we've never bought a house before. So a lot of, our realtor's like, oh, we got to make sure the title is okay. It doesn't have any liens against it. And I'm like,
You're like, what?
oh, okay. Then the VA is like, hey, we won't give you this money until we know that you have homeowners insurance. So I'm like, okay,
I know it's a pain, but you know what? If buying a home doesn't cause you to get a divorce, nothing will.
Well, I mean, I say that about the Navy. If the
Oh, that's
Navy
true.
and prototype and now this, I mean, I feel like we've gone through a lot of BS.
Oh my God. You said prototype. I have a funny nuke story for you, Serena.
Oh, let's hear it.
So for our listeners who don't understand, nuke just means nuclear navy. And there's a huge difference between the people that, stand watch back aft, as we call it, or are on the ship down below and, nuclear trained, and we call them coners, poor guys, ETs and stuff. But I had a reunion here this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a bunch of guys off the USS Baltimore, my very first submarine. And I won't tell you how long ago that was. It was yesterday or so.
Yeah.
Well, they came down. So Thursday, I hosted some of them at my house because the reunion didn't really start till Friday. I'm cooking, right? I go outside and I just observe because that's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some nukes sitting there around the table, the left side or the right side of the table, talking about this time that the motor generator went out and what they were doing to fix it. And I swear, I looked to the left and the coners, right, the forward guys were sitting there talking about the port call and some girl stuff. Like, here's what we were doing in the port call. We're drinking it. I'm like, wait, I just want you guys to realize something. The nukes are over here talking about motor generators and you guys are talking about women.
Right. Because that's how it goes.
Well, so hey, if you're listening, that's the difference between nukes and coners right there.
To elaborate on that, I don't know if you remember this, but when you guys were on Westpac one time, you were pulling into South Korea and it was only a Liberty port for some of the crew. And that would be not the nukes. It was not a Liberty port for the nukes. And you kept saying, you should come out here and surprise Brandon. And I'm like, it's not a Liberty port for him. And then you were like, okay, well, I'm going to tell him to put in leave so then he can have Liberty so you can come out and visit. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that part. I remember, of course, South Korea. And, I remember people coming out to South Korea. It was actually a great port visit for me, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and it was for me too. I got to go. There was quite a few wives that came, but not a lot of nuke wives. I think just one other with me, but her husband was an officer, so that doesn't count.
That doesn't count. And I almost died pulling out of South Korea, but that'll probably be a story for another show because I haven't been out long enough yet to tell the story on air without getting. Hey, when you're the cop, sometimes you just got to do things yourself, right?
Yeah, right.
Get them done. But oh my God. Well, I had a pretty boring couple of weeks, honestly, which was great for me until today. So we ordered furniture, Serena, in February.
Oh gosh.
Everything's so backed up. And
Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that.
I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you. I thought we got scammed, right? So of course we paid all the money up front. And it'll be there in April. April, we call. Where's our furniture? It'll be there in May. May, we call it. In June. And of course, I'm telling my wife, I'm like, we got scammed. I'm like, when we call in June and our furniture's not here, I'm driving somewhere and whipping somebody's ass because
Yeah.
I want my stuff because I already paid upfront the whole amount.
Oh
Well,
my
of
gosh.
course they call us yesterday and like, "Hey, your furniture will be there tomorrow." Um, and they
So
only drop it off on the curb, and I had a luncheon. It of course, right? She's at work, I'm gone. Uh, luckily, my
you have
daughter
all this
came,
brand new furniture sitting on your front curb.
well, it's protected in cardboard, we're good.
Okay.
Yeah, well, she got here in time to let them in, and then, of course, they don't unbox anything, so for the past couple hours, I've been unboxing furniture, and it arrived. It looks good. So now I have to tell her I'm sorry because I told her she got scammed and we're not really getting the furniture. And she thought she was saving this money by ordering it from this company. But yeah, so guess what? I'm in a little bit of trouble right now. But I'm happy because I saved money. But yeah, I gave her shit for the past 2 months.
Oh my gosh. I would have been freaking out too. I mean, we've had the same furniture for 15 years. And so now we want new furniture because we have a new house. And I'm nervous because you're not the first person that's told me that things have been taking a long time to get delivered or like just to get in stock to be delivered.
Well, people think COVID's over, but the fact of the matter is a lot of these places were shut down for a long time and demand is up and supply
Oh,
is
sure.
down. So it's
Yeah.
going to take a while to get things and prices are up. So if you want something today, oh, you can get it all right.
Yeah. If you
Uh,
can pay for it. Yeah.
we saved $2,000. Actually, I think it was $2,200 by waiting. So I'm okay with that now that I have it.
Yeah. I mean,
Though
I might off air. I want you to tell me where you got it. I mean, I hate my couch with all my heart and soul, but I'll suffer, you know.
I
And
will actually, and I have no clue right now. I have to ask Regina because you know how that goes. She says, "I want this." I go to the computer and I hit pay, and then I
right.
walk away. That's how it works in my house.
Sure. Yeah. Like good man.
Hey, but a couple of $1,000 in 3 months or 4 months is not bad, I suppose. But hey, Serena, if you want furniture tomorrow, I'll sell you some.
I don't know. Does it have ass imprints in it from you guys sitting on it?
No, I'll just I just want to make sure you have to pay a premium, of course.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, you're lucky you're buying a house right now. Can you imagine building one? You'd have to take out a
No.
loan to buy it too before.
You know what? I know some people building houses right now, and I'm like, what Navy do you work for? Because I don't know how that's even possible. And because I've heard people just around the Kansas City area that are builders saying that they have to tack on like 30 to 50,000 more dollars onto these people's home costs because of the lumber. And so
Well,
like I have Navy friends that are building houses on other coasts. And I'm like, I don't understand how you get paid to do this because we didn't get paid like that.
I'm going to tell you right now, at your house, you got,
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you paid for it,
Yeah.
but I know you got a pretty good deal. So
Yeah.
3 months from now, when the prices are just going up, you're probably going to be in great shape automatically, which is awesome for you.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, our realtor was great and she definitely told us what she thought the house was worth. And she said, don't you dare go over that price. And we didn't, and we stuck at it. And then it appraised and it all worked out great. So I'm thankful that we aren't entering anything with negative equity because that would suck. I mean, I know a lot of
Yeah.
people are I mean, I know a
Hey,
lot of people are in tricky situations right now where like they have to have a house. I mean,
well, yeah, you got to have a
we
place
are
to live.
yeah, and we're very fortunate that we had a place to stay, but then also that this worked out the way it did
Well,
because
if you want to talk about negative equity, try buying a used car right now, Serena.
oh my God.
Uh, this, demand and supply problem we have, used cars, my truck, I've been offered more than I paid for it several times. They keep contacting me. And I
Mhm.
actually went and had it appraised because I was like, I think they're scamming me. And they're like, we'll give you this much today. And I'm like, that's more than I paid for it. I was like, no, I'm good. But listen, if you wait about 6 months, I think that you're going to find that used car prices will go down. And there's going to be a lot of people out there where you talk about being upside down.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
I
Well,
know.
yeah.
I'm knocking on wood because my car's great. Brandon's car's great. Nobody needs any new cars right now. And I definitely don't want to go buy one, especially since we just bought a house.
Well, yeah, you can't buy anything till after closing.
Yeah, of course. They
Oh,
did tell us
oh,
that
yeah.
today. The email that came to us, they were
Yeah,
like, you're cleared to close. And this is just
except
a soft reminder do not go buy anything else right now.
yeah. So if you're listening out there and you've never bought a house, here's how it works. They pull your credit and you do all this work, and then between then and the time you close, you better not buy anything big
Yeah.
or it is over for you.
Yeah. Brandon went to Cabela's just to buy some fishing gear because the weather's been real nice here in Kansas City. So we've been fishing every night. And he went to, or maybe Bass Pro Shop, I don't know, to go buy some gear. And I was like, do not spend any money. And he's like, babe.
No, wait a minute, Serena. That's a little
Yeah.
extreme.
I know. He was like, I can buy some fishing lures. Like, give me a break.
You're like, I need that money for curtains.
Yeah, right.
So, Serena, I know that your dad, first of all, I'm going to say that I made fun of these things. They're called Hey Dudes. You can laugh at me right now. And you were telling me, my cousin bought some. He goes, they're so comfortable. And then you were telling me, how many pair did your dad order for your store?
The initial order was like 2,000 pair. And we have, like, we posted on our social media and on our store's website, and we have like maybe 20 pair left. They were gone within a week.
Holy crap. And he ordered like 3,000 more, right?
Well, then he ordered an additional 2,000 that were supposed to be delivered like in April, and they still haven't shown up. And we had the Hey Dude rep in our store last week to order the stuff for January, February, and March, like their spring line. And the rep was like, you're not getting that order of 2,000 pair till like August. So stop asking, stop calling. It's not coming till August.
Oh man.
And so that we have 2,000 coming in for the fall. And then my brother ordered an additional 3,000 pair for January, February, March timeframe. And I kid you not, if I had a nickel for every person that called or came into the store or emailed us asking if we had Hey Dudes, I would not have to work.
Oh my God. Well, you know what scares me about that? Well, I'll say that in a minute. But with Serena, I got 2 pair of Hey Dudes this weekend.
Oh my gosh. I'm shocked you were able to find them.
I got people, Serena. I got people. I mean, I know you and your family owns a store and I couldn't get them. But
yeah, we don't have any men's at all.
Well, I got people. That's why. But and I got them 2 for $90. I mean, you can't beat that.
No, I mean, that's a good deal because ours sell for more than that.
Well,
and we can't put them on sale because they're in such high demand.
Well, my friend works for a shoe station, which is about a mile and a half from me. So, when they get a shipment in, maybe I get a phone call, maybe I don't.
Yeah. Okay. Well, why don't you just consider yourself lucky? I mean, people come in every day saying, I can't find dudes anywhere. And now, so they try us. Like, I don't know if it were like the last resort or what, but we have actually the bulk of the shoes that we have left are kids. Like, I'm talking size 1 and smaller. There's like a couple women's left, but not in like the most popular color. And then we have like 1 pair of men's in 1 color that's a size 8.
Oh my God.
And and then another, like, I think maybe 2 pair and 8s. I mean, it's kind of comical. This whole wall in our store is completely empty because that's where our dudes go.
Well, I'm going to tell you what changed my mind. I was at a concert at the Wharf, and I love concerts. But anyway, different show. I'm going to Luke Combs here pretty soon. But again, different show.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. But my feet were kind of hurting. I always wear flip flops, and I looked around, and there's like 4 or 5 people around me, and Hey Dudes, and I was smiling and shit. And my mind was like, I bet those shoes are comfortable,
Yep.
And then I bought some. They are comfortable. They're a little hot because I'm used to flip flops, but hey, you know what? I'm a changed man. I like them now.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a pair, I have to admit. However, we did order quite a few pair for the spring line that's coming that are cute that I would wear. And for winter, the ones that are coming in August, there's like some boots, like some fuzzy boots and stuff that are taller that I think I might be able to get into. My son has a pair and he and I wear the same size right now. So I'll throw his on when I go out to water my flowers and stuff, but they are comfortable. I just don't own a pair myself.
Let me go ahead and say without a doubt, there's a 100% chance I will not be wearing fuzzy Hey Dudes that look like boots.
You don't want like boots with the fur with leopard?
Hey, isn't that a song? Boots.
Yeah.
Serena, so last week we had on the American Legion, and the truth of the matter is Skill Mill is gaining a lot of traction with veterans, and people are finally realizing we have the only VMAP parser. Like we can actually help them with career opportunities, and we are launching telehealth in the next 30 days for veterans.
Yeah, that is so awesome and so huge. I've been seeing all the signups rolling through my emails, and I haven't seen that in a while. So I'm really excited for Skill Mill to see all these new veterans signing up with Skill Mill and creating profiles.
Well, and I want to thank the American Legion again. I mean, they've helped us get the name out. A lot of people on this podcast, especially, has helped us, get the Skill Mill name out. And make veterans realize that, hey, we're here for you and we do a lot of things for you. So, if you're listening and you've signed up or someone and you've had them sign up for a skill mold at skillmold.com, I appreciate it. Serena appreciates it. But keep
Sure.
listening to the podcast. This is fun for us. This is the favorite part of my job, Serena.
I agree. I love talking to you.
You too. And hey, and drinking with you.
Yeah.
All right, Serena. Well, we're here with Wendy Layton. She's the chapter director for the Blue Star Families in Jacksonville. We first heard about Blue Star from Shannon Lynn Unger. She's from Veterans Village of Northeast Florida. And so welcome to the show, Wendy. We appreciate you coming.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor.
Well, I want to get right down to it. A lot of people don't know what Blue Star Family is all about. And I got to be honest, Serena, I didn't know until that episode we did a while ago. And then we didn't go into a lot of detail. But first of all, just tell us what you do, what you're about.
So Blue Star Families was started about 12 years ago by military spouses who felt that there were a lot of gaps in their community for military spouses, with employment, with friendship, with feeling isolated when they go to a new duty station. We were informed just recently that there are 800,000 military families that are transitioning or PCSing this time of year. So you get to a new location, you don't have anybody, you don't know anybody, you don't even have anyone to put on your kid's emergency contact.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yep.
8 times.
13 times.
She wins,
so,
Serena. She wins.
Yeah.
We realized that the chapter model that has kind of expanded across the country, I believe we are up to 9 chapters, funded chapters now. Families can start in San Diego and land in Jacksonville or land in Clarksville or wherever they may be and feel like they have someplace to start. Our whole program is about connecting and about helping find resources, helping them to find friends. So we do in-person events, we've done virtual events over the last year and a half, and now we're transitioning back into in-person events, but we're also continuing. We have a virtual summer camp. We have over 1,000 kids registered.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
So let me ask you, as I was formerly a military wife, just recently retired, what would I have done when we went to our last duty station to get involved?
You go to the website for Blue Star Families, you can find your location and see if there's either a funded chapter or if there's a volunteer chapter. There's lots of resources. There's events that we offer that are virtual to kind of help get you involved. And then we have opportunities for volunteers where there isn't a chapter to do events, say drop off books at an elementary school and target military kids. And we send you all the supplies. And, there's just ways that to connect to folks that, maybe you don't know. Starbucks is one of our big supporters. And we do a lot of programming with Starbucks
great.
To help get folks there. So that they can connect over a cup of coffee.
That's nice. I do have to say, being our last duty station was Washington, the coffee houses are aplenty.
Oh, yes.
And we would always meet at the local Starbucks if we tried to get wives together for the submarine when it was deployed. So Starbucks was the place to go. So that's pretty cool that they partnered with Starbucks because that seems to always be the meeting place. And there's usually one always on base, I would have to say.
Oh, yeah, usually not in Jacksonville, but we do have 2 military family stores in Jacksonville. So we're very proud of that, one on Roosevelt near NAS Jacks and one out in Oakleaf. And then there's another in Kings Bay. We're starting to engage our submarine families. Finally, we have a deploy fellow with us now, Janessa McMillan, and Starbucks is actually funding her position for the year. And her focus is mental health and wellness for our families.
I spent 26 years in the submarine force, and Serena's husband, he was also a submarine guy. So thanks for finally including us. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, you guys, that's a tough nut to crack. I mean, we've been trying
we understand.
to engage with those folks up there, and they sort of do their own thing. So
I have to say,
I've never given up.
I've never been any sort of a military spouse other than a submariner's spouse, but I have to say we are a pretty tight knit group.
We are.
It's something I've never experienced. And I even have friends that are military that aren't submariners. And they always say, man, you guys like thick as thieves. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. And we
because
don't ask for much help.
No, right? you stick with each other.
Right.
Yeah.
So thanks for driving up.
We have a neighbor. I'm going up there tomorrow to meet an ombudsman from one of the boats up there I know it's called a boat.
Yeah.
See, good
So,
job.
and I'm going to take her some goodies. We're actually sending them to a jumbo shrimp game decked out in Blue Star Families gear, and they're going to
Awesome.
be highlighted this Sunday. So, it's like I said, it's slow progress. Mayport is always on board. They're like, come on, we'll do whatever.
I can tell you how you spot a submarine guy used to at the Jacksonville Jaguar games, right? They used to give out tickets, and they probably still do to military folks, right? And
They do.
you just had to wear your uniform. Well, all the sub people, of course, they walk in their uniform. They all got a backpack. 5 minutes later, they're sitting in the section. They're the people without uniforms on because they have shorts in their bag. That you're like, oh yeah, there's a submarine guy. There's a submarine guy.
No longer uniforms required,
Oh,
and now they charge you, I think, $20 a ticket.
it was so hot in that uniform down there. It was miserable. Yeah.
It's so hot, with a bathing suit on at
Well,
that
they
game.
got the pool down there now.
Yeah, if you want to pay, I think $10,000, you can. We
Oh,
can certainly
really?
have a big party. Yeah,
Oh my!
yeah.
I've seen some of the people that are in that pool, and they don't look like they got 10 grand to spend on a ticket. I'm sorry.
No. I think that you can bring 20 people. So maybe if you
Oh,
split it's pricey. I don't know that it's 20. Or
yeah.
it's a lot.
Well,
It's
hey,
a lot.
maybe Blue Star Family can sponsor me and Serena to go get the
Oh,
pool journey. No,
yeah. Or
I would
maybe
totally do that.
we find some big funder, some big
yeah,
donor who can take us all.
yeah.
Heck yeah.
Now we're talking. Hey,
Yeah.
some of those people got money to burn. You know what I mean?
Uh,
Not us.
yeah,
Not
they
us.
do.
Certainly not me.
Not us.
Yeah. Well, you said ombudsman. Did you know Serena was my ombudsman? That's how me and her met.
I'm a former ombudsman as well for
That's
USS Stark.
Oh,
So
well,
that's very
thank you.
cool.
It's a
awesome.
it is I say it's a thankless job while you're doing it, but so many people reach out, and Serena knows this better than me, but after the fact and tell you
Mhm.
thank you and how much you've done for them.
Mhm.
So we appreciate it.
I haven't been an ombudsman since 1999. And last weekend I got a message, and one of the guys that served on my ex-husband's ship said, my family and I are going to be in St. Augustine next week. I'd love to see you.
Oh.
And it
Yeah.
just made my heart so happy that, all
Yeah.
these years later.
Mhm. If you really touch somebody, or if you're doing a good job and people really trust you, and it goes a long way. I love it when people still reach out to me asking, what do I do about this? What do I do about that? And it makes me feel good that I can still help people that way. I mean, I don't know everything, but I feel like I've been around the block a couple of times, and then, most certainly could have helped the family with a need that they had. So,
And those are the families, or those are the folks that I work with a lot, because I know that they know the needs within their command,
mhm.
and they can help me connect to, this family just had we did have a family with a death. And it's one of my volunteers who's an ombudsman for a ship at Mayport. And so we're trying to, gather the troops to help rally around this family.
Yeah.
And, he left behind a pregnant wife and a small child.
Oh.
Oh, it's horrible.
So,
I have to say, we were stationed in Washington twice and Pearl Harbor twice. And at Pearl, the community and like the camaraderie amongst families was amazing. Like, you
Yes.
got there and you got your family readiness group, and everybody welcomed you, and on both boats that we were there. I mean, it's probably because you're on an island in the middle of nowhere. So nobody has the contact, an emergency
Right.
contact for their kids at that point. But I have to say, when we were in Washington, it was like a 180 difference. And I felt like that was because a lot of the people that are in Washington are either from there, or they've been there like for several years and have done back to back to back tours.
Yes.
And so I had a hard time this second time being stationed there, finding people. Like, I went to an FRG meeting, and there was like just the board members there. And then the two new wives, me, and there was one other wife whom I knew from Hawaii. So we already knew each other. But I felt like, man, what does everybody do to stay connected? And the answer was nothing, because everybody had either their own family there, or they had already lived there for 4, 5, 6 years and had their groups of not even military families that they were already, connected with. And I struggled for like the first year. And I don't say that very often. I'm pretty outgoing and I can make a friend with a rock, but it was really hard at first. And had I not lived there before, I don't know if I would have, I would have had to pull out my ombudsman tools. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if I hadn't been an ombudsman, I don't know what a family would do. You know what I mean? So a Blue Star, I think, would be, I I wonder if there's one there. Do you know if there's one in Bangor?
We do have staff in Washington State now. We don't have a funded chapter there yet. We are working on making that happen. We're actually focusing on San Antonio right now, and we're trying to build up, there's a lot of presence there, but there's still a lot of gaps.
Mhm.
And I know that feeling. It's such a struggle when you land somewhere. We got here in Jacksonville 26 years ago today, as a matter
All
of
right.
fact.
Wow.
And I had 4 daughters and 2 cats, and we came from Arizona. That's where we were stationed. It was Navy, don't ask. And my husband deployed within 2 weeks after we arrived.
Oh, they gave
We
you
rented
2
a
whole
house,
weeks?
and yeah, 2 whole weeks.
Yeah.
But they gave us hardship orders because I had triplets, and so they.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my gosh.
You said you had
So
4
we were
kids,
lucky.
but
I had 4 years with him home to help, but then he dumped us here.
I don't blame the guy for deploying, but go ahead. Go ahead.
And it's true, but trying to find, and that's why when we do the coffee connects, and we'll have volunteers do those are volunteer led. My volunteers are invaluable here, and they do all these things. I have a volunteer going to Kings Bay this weekend doing a little picnic in housing, and she's going to take books and little goodies to give away. And she is a former ombudsman. They just retired. But, the goal is to say, hey, here's a card. Here's what we do.
Mhm.
Here's some stuff. Call us. Let us be friends. So
I should
come out
volunteer
to some
here.
of these events.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm by Fort
Yes.
Leavenworth. I should volunteer.
Oh,
Well,
absolutely.
That's
Mhm.
Army, Serena. You sure you want to be around those people?
Yeah, I mean, why not?
I
I dealt
mean,
with the Navy for 20 years. Might as well start with a new branch. But I mean, I'm from Kansas City. This is where I grew up. So I know Leavenworth's it's not real close to Kansas City, but a lot of those people come here because this is where all the big mainstream things are. Big stores.
and we
things
do
like that.
engagements up there with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh yeah.
We have a Missouri chapter at Fort Leonard Wood.
Oh yeah.
And we did a big campaign last year with Sleep Number mattresses.
Uh-huh.
And I believe, I don't remember the name of the player. He was a big player. It wasn't the quarterback,
Kelsey.
but
Yeah.
yes, it was him.
Travis Kelce.
He did. And
Yeah.
so the chapter director up there got to go up there and meet him and give away some mattresses to some really lucky families.
That's really
So-
cool. Well, next time you're here, you should let me know because I'm really close to Leavenworth, but it's not, I think Fort Leonard Wood is just an hour or so away. But I mean, I do like to volunteer as much as I can. And I actually haven't volunteered since I quit being an ombudsman in 2017. So I could definitely get my volunteer.
Ty would love to have you. She has all kind. We have a big event that we do in September across the country, and it's called Blue Star Welcome Week. And that's where we have the folks that are already here, including civilians, to come out and help us welcome our new families into their community, because that's part of it, is bringing in the civilians for support, as well as our military and our National Guard and Reserve folks.
Well, I do yellow ribbon events for the National Guard.
That's my former occupation. I was the yellow ribbon support specialist for the Florida Air National Guard.
I know that you volunteered to come on here to talk to us and talk about Blue Star Family, and we appreciate your time. So if someone wants to volunteer or wants to donate, I mean, how does this work?
They can go to bluestarfam.org. All of the chapters are listed. We have resources that they can find just for becoming Blue Star family member, which is free. We have all kinds of free resources, including Headspace, Caribou, a Thrive Market membership. There's lots.
That's the way I feel sometimes. It's okay, Wendy. The Headspace stuff, I mean, I know what that is, and the Thrive, those are pretty cool. And
yeah, I do Thrive.
yeah,
I like
this
it.
is only active duty though, not retired or veterans, right?
We keep updating who's eligible. So go in there, apply, or become a Blue Star family, check the
Roll.
box, and
Hey, so if you're listening, roll the dice, get on there. and
Yeah.
See if they approve you. If they,
Sure.
hey, you get some free stuff.
I mean,
Worst
I was
case,
a
they say
veteran
no.
family, so
Right.
you know, that's right. All they can say is no.
Yeah.
Well,
So
this is just another example of, we talk about this all the time. You do not have to be in the military to serve. People like you serve our military every single day. So thank you. Thank your staff and all the volunteers. All the network of people that we have that helped our military is unbelievable. And every show, Serena, something new.
Always. I've not known everything yet.
That's not what you used
I
to tell
learned
me.
something new every day. I find something else. And I'll tell you that every day I say, every time I talk to a military spouse, I learn something.
Oh yeah,
Um, and I hope that I feel that way my whole entire life.
sure.
I think that's what keeps me going.
Hmm.
Um, I love to learn, and I also love to help. So
Sure.
We do too, and that's why we do the podcast. I mean, we learn a lot, we share a lot of information, and people like you coming on and tell us about your programs, we love it. So thank you, Wendy. Thanks for coming on the
thank
show, and
you.
we'll talk to you next time. Well, Serena, another interview and some more learning.
Yeah, I mean, that is so cool. I wish that they had that in every single base in every city across the world because it would be so helpful for a lot of people.
You know what it is? I think that this world went crazy, and they said, "Oh, you can do everything online," and
Yeah.
but there's nothing like getting together with a person, human contact, having a
Hmm.
place like that you can walk in and say, "Hey, help me," right?
You know, I have to say, obviously, you and I will know this better than some of the newer, younger families, but you and I were obviously in the military before social media and all of that
Mhm.
stuff. So you had to meet in person. And obviously, you have to meet in person when you're talking about ships movement and things like that. But I would say towards the end of Brandon's career in the
Uh,
Navy, things started to be strictly online. And I'm like, I'm not doing a Zoom. And this is even before COVID. Like,
right.
I don't, that's not how I want to talk to people. I want to leave my house. I want to go talk to people and meet people and make friends. And I mean, that's kind of hard to do right now.
It is hard. I like the contact. I like being able to talk to a person, and it's all about money. We all know that. That's why they put it online, and it's nice to have resources
Hmm.
online. Um, if you
Hmm.
actually have an office, you have to pay for and you have space. But having people like her, all the volunteers, and
Hmm.
the things to help our spouses, man, I love it. I love it. Another an example of people helping us.
Sure. Well, I'm definitely going to look into volunteering. I think that's something I can do to continue that for myself. And that's what I love to do. I mean, it doesn't
Right.
sound totally up my alley to welcome new families.
Well, hey, it's like ombudsman time again.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, only this time
Exactly.
after you welcome them, you don't have to deal with them for 3 years. Just like, hello.
Right. I could just be the fun part.
Hey, it's like you'll be like the grandparent. You'll have fun with them for a little bit and then send them off.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So, Serena, what are you sipping on this week?
Oh, today I have another Boulevard Brewing Company, which is from Kansas City. I stay loyal to them because they're so good. But this summer drink that they have out now is called Tiki Slam, and I don't know if this was out before 2021. I don't know because I don't live here. I haven't
What
lived
are you
here in a
doing
while.
now?
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if this is a new thing or not. But it is an ale, but it's got guava, pineapple, and orange juice in it.
Does not sound delicious, but go ahead.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. Have you ever put an orange or a lime in a beer before?
Well, yeah, of course. To the
Okay, well
moon.
that's yeah, so then that's all this is like a tart ale and it's
Uh-huh.
got a guava, pineapple, and orange in it. So
Oh, good.
forget the
Actually,
garnish, you just
right.
pop open the can and it's delicious. I had it at the lake. We went to the Ozarks over Memorial Day weekend and somebody that we were with had it and I was like, "These are good," and I could get crazy with these.
So if they're local, why don't you ask them to come on the show for a drink of the week?
That would be awesome. I'll reach out.
Reach out.
I will.
So during the reunion, this guy broke out some Buffalo Trace and Foresters, and he had all kinds of. I mean, he likes bourbon more than I do, and that's hard to believe. But I tried the Forester, and everyone raves on it.
Mhm.
I got to tell you, I'm not a fan. It's a little sweet for me. Just like
Oh.
what is that one real sweet liquor? Oh, Southern Comfort. Oh my
Oh
God, it's
god.
horrible.
That makes my stomach hurt just when you say it.
Well, Forester is kind of like that for me. It's too sweet. I guess I've been drinking bourbon a while, so I want bourbon to taste like bourbon, not sugar. And
Yeah.
it just wasn't my thing. But that's what I tried this week, and I tried a couple different ones. I guess they have. I don't remember the years, but he had 3 different bottles. I don't like any of them. He did have Buffalo Trace with him, so there was that.
Mm. Yeah.
And it was all free. So actually, I enjoyed all of it.
Yeah. That's awesome. So get this. and I don't even know if I should be saying this, but I'm going to because I doubt anybody listens. But that's
not true.
This.
You know
no,
that we're almost
okay.
Yeah.
Scratch that. That was the wrong sentence. I don't think the people that I'm going to talk about are listening to this episode specifically. How about that?
Okay, I like it.
The home seller reached out to me, and I know that they're not supposed to do that, but he reached out and privately on Facebook. Of course, he searched who we are. I mean, I searched who he was. I mean, immediately when we bought the house.
It's 2021. That's what you do.
Right. So he sent me a message on Facebook and was, long story short, he knows my family. He shops at our store, whatever. So he was like, I knew that there was a daughter coming back to Kansas City. And it just so happens that you put an offer in on my house. So he thought this was a really cool situation. Anyway, he invited us over last week to show us like the ins and outs of the house, the idiosyncrasies, whatever, that things that, you have to learn about a home. He was like, come over and I'm going to tell you all these things. So we went over, we were there for like 2.5 hours.
That's
this
awesome.
guy, yeah, he's a really cool guy. Like when I knocked on the door, he opened it and he pulled me in and hugged me. We're talking like ass in, break your back kind of hug.
Damn.
Yeah. So he was showing us all the things, like showing Brandon how to work the pool and things like that. So we get upstairs. The pool is upstairs in the house. And this is why it's odd. The house is built into the earth. So you have to go upstairs to where the bedrooms and the rec room and the bar is, because that's where the backyard is, where the pool is located. So we go upstairs to the rec room and he's showing Brandon like his surround sound wires and things like that. And he's got a fully stocked wall of alcohol.
Yeah.
He's got a bar with like all this nice alcohol and, he's got all these glasses out, everything's on display, whatever. And he looks at us and he was like, do you guys drink? And we're like, yeah, we drink.
We're Navy family.
Yeah. And
yes.
he was like, and he's like, do you like bourbons? And Brandon's like, of course. So he like puts 2 glasses down. He pours, I don't even know what it was, but he poured a little bit for me and Brandon and we sipped it while he was talking about some stuff. And he was like, well, I don't want to move any of this alcohol. So you guys can have it.
What the hell? Now,
Yeah.
wait a minute. This house just went from being okay to being, Serena, I hate you.
I know, right? So like we're getting this beautiful home with a stocked bar in the bar room. Like,
Guess who's coming to visit?
I mean, I hope you do. Don't threaten me with a good time. Okay.
Hey, someone's got to help you get through that bourbon. And, Brandon can't. I'm here for Brandon, Serena.
Yeah.
I am a shoulder to cry on.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty stoked. They're over it. They already live someplace else and it's far away from Kansas City. So he's like sick and tired of going back and forth. And he's like, I don't want to move any more things. And I'm like,
oh my God.
Your trash is my treasure.
No shit, especially that trash.
Yeah.
But, some of those things are expensive.
Yeah. I mean, it was stuff that I hadn't heard of. Brandon had heard of some of them, but that'll be a later show. Maybe I'll do a podcast from my bar and I'll like have the wall in the background.
So you have 2 due outs. You're going to have to get with this local brewing company. What's their name?
Boulevard Brewing Company.
And see if they'll come on the show. And we have to do a podcast from your bar.
Okay. Done. I wonder if I know anybody that works for Boulevard. I have to, right? I mean,
you don't have to. You just be like, hey, I have a national podcast for veterans. Veterans love your product. And we want you on the show. And we're not going to charge you any money to come on. And
right.
Oh, winning.
Serena drinks your beer all the time on the show. So come on.
I wouldn't say all of it. Well, you know what? Just tell them the truth. Yeah, all the time.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Diapers and Deployments, brought to you by Skill Mill.
Go to skillmill.com to check out our blog and create an account. You can also find us on social media. Let us help you find your next career.
Don't forget, that's skill with 2 L's and mill with 1.
Until next time.
Ciao.